What's up guys, it's Chris here. Now, as long as I've had this channel, which is over 2 years now, I've always referred to a certain stock in my portfolio as the mystery share. It's a company that I have kept a secret and that I haven't shared publicly before. Now, not only is it one of the most asked about questions on my portfolio updates throughout the channel's history, but it also happens to be the single largest stock holding in my entire portfolio, with a total of 33,905 Rand invested in just this one share alone. And if that isn't enough, the stock has also paid me the most dividends out of any I have ever owned over the 7 years that I have held it, with a whopping 13,284 Rand in dividend income, and it is currently paying around 14% a year. And as you know, I have always said that the stock is a mystery and that I can't talk about it, but that maybe one day I'll be able to tell you. Well, that one day, finally, is today. Let's get started. Now, given the title and thumbnail of this video, I know exactly what the first question on your mind is, which is, where are you at the moment? This is not the usual casual cash setting. Well, I am currently in the United Kingdom doing some work, which is a hint as to why we can now make this video. But if you are new on the channel, let me take you back a bit to give you some context, then we'll be revealing the mystery share and I'll take you through its performance and how it's done for me while it's been a part of my investments. Now, this right here is the first portfolio breakdown video I ever posted about 2 years ago, when the portfolio was half the size it is now.
So this is a share that I can't talk about because I'm involved with it in the real world. So everything is blocked out there. Long story short, 26,000 Rand value, gone up a little bit, and very good dividends. That's all I can say on that.
And since then, over 2 years, I've referred to the stock in very much the same way, and our mystery share. And for those who don't know, the mystery share is a company I own shares in that I work with in the real world, so I can't disclose any information. So I do apologize for that. So basically, the simple reason why I kept it a secret is because I worked with the company in the real world and didn't want to purposefully or inadvertently give anything away from an insider perspective. And to clarify, there is only limited things I can discuss on it right now, but as time goes on, I'll know only as much as you guys do, which will be whatever the company releases through their investor reports, financial results, or news, etc. So in this video, I'm going to be revealing what the stock is and just taking you through the returns I've had with these shares. So without further ado, let's get to the reveal. Now, videos take a while to make, but I did reveal the stock to the Casual Cash Club a few days before this, so if you want to be on the inside loop along with all of my share purchases, dividend income, and portfolio updates in real time, think of it like micro-learning for investing. You can head to the Casual Cash Club from the link in the description, and as always, there is a 7-day free trial to get you started, and you will get immediate access to all of the posts with that free trial. Now, I must give credit because in the last 2 years, there has been about 3 people who have guessed the mystery stock correctly in the comments. I have no idea how, but you know who you are. So, after 2 years, the mystery stock in our portfolio is Octodec Investments. Now, in the comments, let me know if you guessed this or if you knew about this stock before or have never heard about it at all. I'm curious to see how many of you guessed it or actually know about it. But let me tell you a bit about it, why I have it in my portfolio, and how the share has performed for me over the last 7 years, including why it is currently my highest dividend paying share of all of them. So Octodec Investments is a real estate investment trust, and this business, as you can see on the website, is one of the largest property owners in the Tshwane and Johannesburg areas, with a diversified portfolio of residential, retail, office and industrial properties. Octodec owns 238 properties with a gross lettable area of 1.5 million meters squared, valued at 11 billion Rand. Now, I actually first bought Octodec shares on the 19th of May 2017 for about 5,000 Rand. So about 7 years ago, long before I started working with the company, and the reason, as you probably know, is that I like real estate as an investment, and specifically real estate investment trusts on the stock exchange, because it gives a bit more flexibility and risk diversification than physical property. Although that is something we might be doing in the time to come. But at the time, I liked the fact that they held a lot of residential property in their portfolio, because as we've seen over time, especially with COVID, the demand and need for commercial property goes up and down, but people will always need a home, so I find it a pretty stable investment category, and on top of that, they were also paying a very good dividend at the time, so I bought 5,000 Rand in their shares. Now, as you can see on their graph, since I bought them in May 2017, for a number of reasons, their share price hasn't done well. As you can see, a similar trend with the graph of many property companies in South Africa around this time, because micro-environmental issues and South Africa's operating environment weren't conducive to property growth at the time, and in some ways it still isn't. You just have to look at load shedding and imagine the extra cost this places on landlords to keep the lights on and their tenants operating. But although I bought and sold many shares during that time, I kept Octodec because the dividends were really great. To give you an example, on a 5,000 Rand investment, I was making 690 Rand a year in dividends at the time, or nearly 14%. So I figured I would hold on to it, keep bringing in the great passive income, and see if things turned around. Worst case, after 7 years, I would have made the full investment amount back, even if it went to zero, and for the rest of my life it would be profit. And then of course, COVID came around, and we all know what that did to the markets, and you can clearly see that COVID drop right here. And as with many companies, Octodec held off on paying dividends for a while during this time, so you would have thought that now is the time to sell. But still, I didn't. As with many of my shares during COVID, I just held them. Now, if I do the basic maths on that time, it means that my 5,000 Rand investment at the height of COVID and the bottom of the market was worth around 991 Rand. But then in May of 2021, I did something quite interesting. When my 5,000 Rand investment was worth around 1,900, I went ahead and bought another 30,000 Rand in Octodec shares. Now, part of the reason here was because I thought it was good value, and partly because I had started doing work for them and I wanted to be part of its performance. And I must say, I think it turned out to be a good decision. Because since then, the share price has slowly but steadily climbed, dividends have returned and have started paying quite well, which we'll get to in just a bit, and overall I'm in a good profit for their share, both in share price and total return. So just how much profit exactly? Well, let's jump into easyequities and take a look. Here you can see that my purchase price for the shares was 31,442 Rand, and as I said, that was what was left over from COVID plus the roughly 30,000 Rand that I invested after. And on the right here you can see that since that investment my total profit is up by 7.83%, which is a Rand value of about 2,500. Now that is pretty good and I'm happy with that, but like I said earlier in the video, even 7 years ago, one of the main reasons I bought the share was for the dividend income. So over the 7 years I've held my original 5,000 Rand investment, and the 3 years I have had the 30,000 investment, this stock has returned to me a total of 13,284 Rand and 47 cents in dividend income. So that combined with the 2,462 in share price growth brings us to a total return of 15,747 Rand, or a 50% total return on our original investments. So I am quite happy with the investment returns, and I'm happy with their dividend, which is right now at about 14%. And I've been holding them for 7 years, and I don't necessarily plan on selling them anytime soon. And guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. The purpose of this video is just to reveal the stock so we don't have to refer to it anymore as the mystery share, and show you some of the returns so that in my portfolio updates you have got that context. But as always, before investing in anything, do your own research and remember that past performance is not always an indicator of future performance, so keep that in mind before you make any investment decisions. But on that note, Please like the video if you enjoyed finally revealing the mystery share, and subscribe if you haven't already. But until then, I'll see you guys next time, as always, on Casual Cash. Cheers.